Wrong. Stream has started. Wrong. How do you feel about that? How do we feel about that? Bet you feel like you're really silly now, don't you? Don't you feel really silly? How dare you say that? All right, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Here we are. You're often wrong. Is that the Timothy aerosol that I know and love dearly? Could it be him? Could it be true? If it is true, I'm thrilled to see you, man. It's good to see you in here. Perhaps, he said. Perhaps. 77 gigabytes this game. That's insane. Oh. Oh, wow, actually. I need to turn that off because that's going to get copyrighted. Supporting the lad. Appreciate it, man. There we go. Here it is. And it's downloading, but let's check this thing out, man. I've heard some controversy. I've heard a little controversy with this game, but let's see. The reviews mostly positive, very positive. Jesus Christ be praised. Now that's a heavy thing to say on a game review. Of course, I'm going to scroll to the negative. No, actually, I don't want to see that stream. No. 88 on Metacritic. GameSpot, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10 on IGN. This is kind of a crazy story because this game started out on Kickstarter, if you don't know. And it's kind of an inspiration for what we're doing with Reforged. You could look at their Kickstarter page, but essentially they started out on Kickstarter, and I don't know where the exact page is. That wasn't it. Oh, here it is. Just pull that again. I don't know where the page went, but they had a massive page. I was literally looking at it yesterday. And they raised a ton of money, and they were just an indie studio, and now they're just #1 featured on that's funny. They're #1 featured on oh, here it is. Actually, I was on the right page. Yeah, so their original goal was £300,000, which is actually really high goal. Kickstarter actually warns you if it's anything above $30,000. So that's over 15-fold, I think, with the currency conversion of what they recommend the high is. And you can see, like, this was also a long time ago. I think this started in 2019. God, that's not last updated 2019. I think it was for way before that they actually initiated it. But they actually did these stretch goals and stuff, which we're also planning on doing. No, our Kickstarter's not up. We're still working on the page. We actually are trying to get the Steam page up right now. But all that stuff is coming pretty soon. But you can see here, like the page is pretty well put together. Again, this was just an indie company. Made it big with one game, and now, now they could remake. They could make the sequel with like the AAA budget that they wanted. One of the coolest things I saw here that I wouldn't have suspected is like how many tiers they have. Only 3 people got the 5,000 pound tier, which isn't shocking, but that makes up for a ton of the other tiers, obviously. Risks and challenges. RPGs are big games with complex layered mechanics. Interesting how they have the risks on there. I think they do recommend that you do that. Actually, the Lionhearts page is here. You can see I already have the Steam page reserved for Lionhearts. We just haven't published all the stuff we put on it yet. So as soon as we're done with that, obviously, you guys should go wishlist that. Be ideal. That would be ideal. What's up, Jake? Oh my gosh, he's an admin, guys. About to play Kingdom Cover Deliverance. I'm just going over their original Kickstarter. What's up, Adroit? Good to see you, man. No, so this is kind of interesting, actually. I've never read this part. RPGs are big games with complex, layered mechanics and components, perhaps more so than any other genre out there. They're definitely complicated to create. Yeah, that's saying the least. Many risks. We try to minimize these risks with selecting proven technology, assembling a small team with proven experience, and shipping open world and AAA games. Well, obviously it worked, right? I mean, the Kingdom Come Deliverance was a very successful game. I mean, you raised 300,000. It supports the development, and then they probably made a lot of money with that. Obviously, enough to support the funding of this next AAA game. Although I do know that they got additional investors, so they don't have total control because they definitely sold some control to get initial investors. I wonder if they did meet their deadline, because they're saying here that would have been a big risk. Big battle systems. Strong financial backing. So why are you doing a Kickstarter? That's so funny. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing to say on a Kickstarter. Like, if I see a Kickstarter, say, oh, we have strong financial backing. It's like, well, why am I donating? I guess it's for the tiers at that point, right? Wouldn't that be the reason that you donate at that point? But anyway, I mean, it looks like a solid improvement fidelity-wise. Yeah, I mean, that's fair, and that's part of the reason we're doing it too, is Kickstarter's also being a marketing tool, right? If I invest in a Kickstarter, like whatever, how many backers did they get? Yeah, 35,000 backers. Like now you have 35,000 people that are invested in playing the game on launch. That's a huge amount. And like if you pay for something, you're way more likely to go play it later rather than, oh, this is a cool post, I might check that out, and then you forget about it. So that's definitely interesting. Now this game's gotten some controversy for some interesting things I hope we don't see on stream today, but overall the reviews are positive. Which hopefully again they deliver. I mean, hard to argue with all these positive reviews. I wouldn't think that these would be so positive if the game was bad. So we'll see. I know Civilization 7 has gotten some fucking terrible reviews. Now it says all reviews are mixed, but they were very negative before. I've actually met some of these developers at a conference before. Some of the Civ developers, cool guys. Interesting. What are the reviews saying? Oh, look at this one. This has got a ton of. Been playing Civ for 20 years. It was one of the first video games I was ever exposed to. As an experienced player, I can say a lot of the changes here are super interesting and have a lot of potential. The city growth and town mechanics are neat. Independent settlements and rework establishes a lot of refreshing take on city-state and barbarian dynamics. Previous releases. Army formations are in combat are streamlined in a reasonable way. Oh my god, this is the motherlode. There's something here. Crucial, basic things are completely missing. That's... The UI is terrible. I did hear that. I kind of want to see pictures of it. One of the things I actually actively development. Their cinematics have always been decent. Nothing like Blizzard-esque, but... You know, the Civ is actually a very good game series, but you're bound to miss a few after so many. Okay, well, the game's ready to play, so we might as well start it. Here we go. All right, you're getting my unaltered first opinion of this game. And if I hate it, it's going to be a waste of $60. So we'll see. Go. Here we go. Let's see how it goes. And cautiously optimistic here. Oh, good. They're collecting my data. All right. Love the clean interface so far. Clean interface is a huge plus. Yeah, I think a lot of games overclutter. And actually a critique of mine. New game. God, the fidelity and graphics are so much better. King Wenceslas. I recognize this place. I think this is from the first game. I am a sucker for cinematics. Armor looks super nice. I really like the art style, actually. Not super dark, which a lot of medieval games. You're Ula?
Godwin! Where's your weapon? To the battlements! Move! Father!
Will you come to anoint us before we die?
We'll get anointed after the battle.
That would be funny, Tim.
With booze. Get ready! Take cover!
Damn. They really just sniped that. Literally hit the gatehouse perfectly. The outfits are really cool.
A rude awakening, eh? Make it count.
This is a long opening cinematic. I will say that. But I paid $60, so I ain't quitting out. I forgot this game is first person. What am I doing? Okay, I put my crossbow away. Okay. Okay, I see. This is cool. One thing I might be controversial, which I did not enjoy in the first game, is I did not enjoy the combat. I never really got a hold of it. Oh, wow. Where did he go? Oh god, I don't know what I'm doing. Trying to freaking... Right, you gotta hold E. I feel like pulling the ladder up would be a better strategy so that they can't keep being used. So far, I love the graphics. I think they're perfect. That was smart.
I've been hit.
Like, don't poke at it. Just calm down.
Oh, Dentes Fortuna, fucking you, that. Jesus. You're only supposed to deliver a message to Trotsky. And the most adventure I was expecting was a fuck or two.
This is a little slower pace than I think it could be, to be honest. But if the game is as slow gameplay-wise as the first one, then maybe it's appropriate. I mean, that was definitely a more compelling tutorial than the first. Of lamb cakes. I remember you. Now they go into the slow pace. That was the fast pace. Now they're going into the slow pace part.
Oh, Dentes Fortuna, you are!
What's that you keep yelling, Sir Hans?
Good gracious, Henry, you don't mean to tell me you don't know Latin?
My apologies, Your Grace. Unfortunately, I was too busy shoveling shit and picking turnips to find time for studying Latin.
We shall have to rectify that. I can't have an ignoramus for a personal bodyguard.
Anyway, this Audens, whatever. What does that actually mean?
O Dentes Fortuna Juvat. Fortune favors the brave.
I don't doubt it. All we have to do is deliver a letter to Lord Otto von Bergov and ride back again. Doesn't take much bravery.
Christ, Henry, don't be such a stick in the mud. Aren't you glad to be finally out of that hellhole where we can finally enjoy some adventure? See a bit of the world, meet new women, and simply have some fun.
Sure, but you promised Johannes that you'd be as good as gold.
I guess this is the bromance that we've been worried about.
Besides, Trotsky's in the middle of nowhere, so I wouldn't expect much excitement there.
God help me, my bodyguard's a monk who can't speak Latin.
Sir, Trotsky.
Are there any religious elements in this game? I don't really remember any from the first one, but again, I didn't play it that much. Yeah, that's kind of a
That is
down point. I feel like,
It makes Perkstein look like an outhouse.
I don't know.
Bergov must be
This is more
brilliant.
like I'm getting the vibe, and it's very early, but I'm getting the vibe this is more of like a sensationalist medieval world rather than like an accurate one. Like, oh, let's make sure we go to the brothel 4 times a day. All this other stuff. It's like, yeah, those elements existed, but I think they're probably overstated to attract a modern audience, which probably isn't the most accurate.
Forward to new adventures? Adventures that will become the stuff of
Again,
legends?
Of course I am. We'll show them what fine fellas have turned up on their doorstep.
You bet we will.
again, it's early,
We'll
so
hand over our important message and then hop, skip to the nearest tavern. We'll drink to our success and chase some local wenches, eh? But why didn't Uncle Hanush take care of it himself? Unless, maybe he's just testing me.
Aye, it does look like that. He'll hand over all the Ratai estates to you one day.
riveting
But I expect he
gameplay.
wants to be sure you won't botch it.
Of course. How could I possibly botch it up? There are foreign armies rampaging through Bohemia. The king is in captivity, God knows where, and here we are in the middle of it all, carrying an important document. No, I intend to make the most of this trip, one way or another.
You're a bit too keen. You never know what might happen.
Henry, don't be such a lily liver. Audentes fortuna juvat. Well, enough of the chat.
That dog's gonna get freaking tired.
Sir Hans, how's it looking there in the back?
All good, Oates. Just keep your eyes on the road ahead.
Exactly. If anything in front of us even looks like it's moving, we want to know.
Keep your hair on, Nick.
Character design and outfit design is definitely
Don't miss nothing.
probably the best part so far. And that's super important, obviously, for any game. Although I do worry, no religious elements. If it's really trying to immerse you in the medieval world, I don't know how effective that's going to be, but we'll see.
Sir.
Should we get ready for a fight? Take it easy, Henry. They're wearing von Bergov's colors. They're from Trotsky.
Surround them! Don't let them get away!
Besides, don't stand a chance against them. Don't do anything foolish, fellas.
Fellas with an H? That's wild.
My orders.
I've never seen that spelling. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yep. Hard to tell, isn't it?
What are you after here?
Is this usually how you greet visitors, my good man?
This is how we greet armed strangers when bandits are pillaging everywhere.
Can you not distinguish between a noble and a bandit, sir?
It's not always that straightforward these days. Who are you people?
Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. I bear a letter for Sir Otto von Berghoff from my master, Sir Hanush
Yeah.
Leipa.
This is indeed the seal of the Lords of Lipa. And unless I am mistaken, Lord Hanush of Lipa is on the side of King Wenceslas,
Well,
while my master is a member of the League of Lords, who side with King Sigismund.
well,
So it would appear we are enemies.
Okay, I guess we're gonna
Not
fight.
enemies. We're carrying a message with the aim of putting a stop to the hostilities.
And who are you?
Henry, from Skalitz.
I guess
I'm Lord Capon's advisor and scribe.
that's a cool way to
Envoy as
change
well.
choose your backwards.
Skalitz, you say? The one that King Sigismund's Cuman forces plundered?
And slaughtered everyone. Even so, I'm not going to Trotsky as an enemy, but as a peace envoy.
Even so, you're still strangers here, and armed strangers to boot. And as it happens, we're on the trail of just such a band, so why should I trust you?
Now that's a lot of reading.
We want to negotiate an alliance. We'll come to an agreement with your lord in Trotsky, and maybe offer to deal with those bandits for you. After all, you haven't been able to track them down, so we can take matters into our own hands. So move aside, and let us, dutiful knights, pass.
Don't provoke me, boy, or you'll pass to a place you don't want to be. Didn't you say you were a scribe? Or are you trying to tell me you're a knight and
Oh, I
a
see.
scribe? Don't try to pull the wool over my eyes.
Don't listen to him, Captain. He's traveling with me for the first time, and evidently, he's got a bit above himself. We've come on the orders of Margrave Jobst of Moravia, and we bear a message from Sir Hanish of Lipa, Divish of
These
Talmberg,
names are
and
crazy.
Radzig Kobula. Our message concerns the offer of an alliance that it seems you need as much as we do right now.
All right, then. You may carry on, but put your men in their place, sir, before their impertinence leads you into trouble.
Indeed, I will. Thank you, Captain.
Sorry about the cold reception. You must be cautious. These bandits create mayhem, then vanish like ghosts. We'll be on our way.
Oh, so you won't accompany us to the castle to see your lord?
Sorry, sir, we can't. Listen, you won't make it to the castle before nightfall. Sir Otto's orders are to not admit anyone after dark, especially while we're away. You'd best camp until daybreak.
I'll take your point. I mean, back home, the last time someone led a nobleman in trouble into their castle, we had to bombard it to get him out. Is there an inn in these parts, at least?
There is one, but it's a bit of a way out, and I'm not sure your lordship would like it very much.
God! What kind of a backwater have they sent us to? I just suppose we'll just have to manage somehow. Good luck in hunting down those bandits.
Thomas, captain at Trotsky. Thank you. And sorry again. Farewell.
Farewell.
Okay, farewell. Like I'm watching a movie at this point. Did get to shoot some crossbows.
Well, this is a bit of a hold-up. What now?
Since there's no tavern within reach, we'll just bed down here for the night. The pond looks inviting, and we've got wine enough.
And what about those bandits?
Well, they're probably keeping their heads down, what with that big patrol combing the woods for them.
Right, camp time.
Come on, fellas. We'll camp here on the bank. At least we can bathe. I stink almost as bad as the rest of you, and you lot are rank.
Oh, more talking. Fuck. Oh,
Come on, Conrad. Do something with that mutt, Henry. It's doing my head in. Call that dog, Henry. Who the hell can listen to that?
Why not? Because you cheat.
I do not.
Henry! Hey!
Call
Call off that mutt of yours!
That's an easy one.
Come here!
What's all the fuss about, Mutt? Are you that hungry? All right, I'll see what I can get for you.
Henry, what the fuck was that about?
What was what about?
With that captain. I thought they got us all. The way you provoked him.
You're right. I got a bit carried away.
Well, you shouldn't have. We're lucky they didn't shoot us down on the spot. Did you notice how many of them there were? You better keep your nose out of it next time.
I apologize. You're right.
That's all right. I understand how you feel. His tone got on my nerves too. And keep quiet tomorrow in front of von Berghoff. I'm here to do the talking. We'll deliver our message and fulfill our mission. If we arrange a truce with the League of Lords, then Hanush will finally have to take me seriously. Well, since you're so sure of yourself, how about stretching our limbs a bit after that long journey? With a bit of swordplay.
You're in the mood for that after riding so long?
Certainly. So then, eh? Eh?
All right then. Just a bit of swordplay for the hell of it? Or should we have a wager?
Let's save the wagers for later.
Oh, you afraid?
Keep the biting remarks to yourself. You've got armor on, so just grab your helmet. Here's a practice sword for you. Have that ready too.
Oh. Okay, this is a very complicated UI. Okay. Oh.
So, should we start?
Did you deal with that dog of yours? I wouldn't want him gobbling up our supper while we're training.
You're right. Hang on a while. Mutt!
Where do I put him?
Come here!
Watch that tankard. You play dice with him, you'll lose your grace.
Can we start with the swordplay?
You've got your armor. Good. I won't hold back. Did you deal with that dog of yours? I wouldn't want him gobbling up our supper while we're training.
Don't worry. Oates is cooking up that gruel again. That, well, not even a dog would eat.
I never knew you were such a gourmet. All right, let's go. A bit of sword play will give you an appetite. Let's start. Draw your sword.
Hang on. This time, let's get warmed up. I'll attack you a few times. You defend.
Go ahead. Impress me. Is that the best you've got? I didn't even work up a sweat.
Oh, you will soon enough. A foe in plate armor has to be worn down.
Let's see it then. Attack properly now. A longer sequence. Enough!
Now you're warmed up, eh?
Yeah. But you're pretty winded yourself. While you're attacking, you still have to take care you have strength left to defend.
Save the advice and try it yourself.
Gladly. On guard. Good. Defend yourself properly.
They copied Lionheart's combat.
For Christ's sake,
God.
Good. Nice.
Does it just auto block? Do you not have to change your direction?
Cover, for Christ's sake. Good. That's the way.
Oh, I
That's
see.
enough. No one's ever won
I
a duel
see.
just by blocking.
Not like
You have to make an
Lionheart's.
opening to strike back. And you do that by means of a perfect block.
Perfect block, eh? You've become a real swordsman.
Start your attack then.
Wake up. Pretty good. That's it. Nice. But what about a riposte? Reckon you can manage that?
Why wouldn't I? Nothing to it. I just follow up a perfect block immediately with a strike. I'll show you.
Get ready. Why didn't you strike afterwards? You have to follow up with a strike. You have to block first. Nice. You've got to block the strike first. Good, Henry. Well,
Interesting.
not as good as Captain Bernard, but that wasn't bad.
Be sure to remember, if someone gives you a riposte, you can still fend it off with a perfect block. And it's best to follow up right away with your own riposte.
Yeah, right. But what if I want to attack in such a way that you can't make a perfect block?
Then it's best to attack at a spot where your opponent isn't covered, where he's not holding his weapon. You defend, and I'll show you how.
All right, come on then. Good riposte. Nice. That was too slow.
Just kicking the shit out of him.
All right. I get it. For Christ's sake. Enough demonstrations and explanations.
Let's have one training duel to finish up, eh?
Indeed. And let's have a wager to spice things up. How about 100 groschen?
All right, 100 groschen it is.
Defend yourself. To a good start. And another.
We just chaining these. Does it,
At least.
very interesting. Definitely a better combat tutorial than the first time.
Weren't expecting that, were you? That one hit the spot.
I just shit out of him. Button spam. Ow.
I'll kill you!
And another.
God, the stamina is brutal. How many times do I have to hit him? I do feel like I've hit him quite a few times.
Now we're even.
Okay. I don't quite understand how directions.
Supposed to be my bodyguard. And you've had it. I say the victor is clear. I'll get my winnings from you later.
What?
Now it's time to eat. Oh, that swordplay has given me quite an appetite. Let's get some
Wow.
grub.
I just got destroyed. Very epic. I don't know. This is fine.
Who won, gentlemen?
That's obvious, isn't it? Henry learned a lesson or two, and I won our bet. At least I'll have someone to buy me drinks in the tavern. It was almost like that time in Rattay.
True. Only I won that time. Your bow, which came in very handy afterwards.
You were unbelievably lucky, beating me after just one day.
Yeah,
of play.
it is a skill issue.
True. I wasn't in my best form that day. We had a drink or two beforehand.
Oats? What's this food supposed to be?
What's left of our supplies? Tomorrow we'll be at the castle, and we'll get some decent grub.
If you told us earlier, I could have shot a hare. And you could have cooked it like they did in the tavern the
All
day
right.
before yesterday.
That tavern where you drank away all your coin?
Ha! You've got to have some fun.
And then you tried it on with the innkeeper's daughter when you were shit-faced.
She was pretty. A real peach. Admit it.
Only a fella was there.
What? Oh my god. What?
And I had to drag you out of that tavern before everyone pounced on us.
And he had his work cut out. You wasn't having it much.
Now, if you was able to court the lasses like me, maybe she wouldn't have started screeching.
I can't say I'm surprised. Just imagine it, fellas. You're a fair maiden. Your lovely locks falling on your shoulders. No thought of wickedness. And then Tankard's fat head appears before you with his crooked mouth. And he says,
Where's the shit, oh my pretty?
I've got
Super
nothing to
delayed
admit.
laugh.
The whole world turns around wenches. Ain't that right, Henry?
Is there like a way to not
You never gave us the goods
like
on that
cutscenes, but
lassie.
dialogue,
What
man?
was her name now?
Teresa. She lived with that crook Peshek at the mill.
Is this a slow burn?
My life.
A brave girl.
Aye. She's a fine lass. And? Is she any good? Like, is she any good? Get me?
She's my sweetheart. And that's all I'll tell you.
Ah, don't be such a monk. Out with it.
Ah, forget it, you horny goat. This discussion is over.
Button him down.
you know, this travelling isn't too bad.
What men just sit around in a
Apart from the
circle
mosquitoes.
like this
Aye.
in like a perfect rectangle, and we're all just sitting like this? It's so like it looks so unrelaxed.
Evening, Henry. You were late for supper. That's not what I call watching over our Lord.
Like, look at him.
Don't make trouble.
This is everybody.
I walked around a bit to scout out just in case. I was looking for some good rock overhang we could all shelter under. If I'd found anything, we wouldn't have to get soaked.
So we got woken up by a bit of a shower. Yeah.
Shower? I could still be wringing out my brace.
It didn't look like it was going to rain.
It did to me, though.
I'm being pretty harsh. I mean, this is pretty good so far. I'm just very
And
picky.
what about time, sir? I mean, will we be getting any time off, sir?
It depends. Once von Berghoff hears us out, we should set off back home immediately.
What? Straight back on the road?
Well, we could stay a day or two, perhaps.
Does anyone know anything more about von Berghoff?
I've already told you all I know. Von Berghoff is a very important nobleman, the royal chamberlain. He administers the country for the king, collects taxes. It's like this. There's the king, then him, then a very big gap, and then me. And we are envoys sent to offer him an alliance.
I heard he insists on having the finest swords, and that he's got a big collection of all kinds of swords and daggers.
Collecting them ain't the same as knowing how to use them.
And is he any good at sword
I don't feel like this is
fighting?
good
It ain't nothing
streaming
to learn.
content. Like, you're just watching me watch the dialogue.
If I had to choose, I'd take a bow. After all, why not seize the opportunity to take down your foe before he gets near to you? Of course, the bow takes training too. Not everyone can hit their target at 50 paces.
And you can shoot something for your supper, like that first time we went hunting? The first time you ever held a bow? I'm surprised you didn't say a sword, since you never stopped going on about the sword Ishvan Toth stole from you.
That sword is the only reminder I had of Pa. We forged it together, just before he was slain. But that's another matter. I suppose you've heard enough of that, eh?
Well, you know.
No, it's all right.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Ishvan's shoes if you ever come face to face with him again.
What? So Radzig ain't dead, though?
Enough, enough. Otherwise we'll be here for hours again hearing how Martin the Smith raised him even though Radzig is his real father. It's complicated, and let's leave it at that. No offense.
Who'll help me tomorrow with getting supplies for the journey back?
We rolled dice for it, and I won. So Conrad goes.
What are you on about?
Enough. Oath, you're no fun at all. There'll be a
Oh, man.
feast at the castle tomorrow, so forget about supplies.
Anyone for another helping? There's plenty left. Maybe even a bit for morning. Hmm?
This is so
Hmm?
this is so
No,
slow.
thanks. I must wash myself down.
Oh man.
My words exactly.
Oh man.
You can't turn up at Trotsky tomorrow in this state.
I'm so impatient for this sort of stuff.
Let's go and strip, Henry.
What?
Fellas, come and help us get out of this armor.
Are you really going to bathe here, Sir Hans? You don't look.
I don't know. I don't know about this scene.
Oh, don't be such an old woman, Oates. Bring some wine to warm our blood.
Uh-oh. Is this already the freaking scene?
Yeah, we're not on a trip to the baths here, Sir Hans.
Henry's right, sir. Duty first, fun later.
God's wounds. I haven't been away from Rattay in ages. So, here, I intend to live a little.
That is actually how you get chainmail off. It's very annoying. You have to bend over like that because it's so
Last
heavy.
Iron shirt. Oh.
just shed £40.
This guy kind of seems irresponsible.
Ah, Christ. Will I ever live to see his young lordship finally grow up? He's got a good heart, but he doesn't have the sense that he was born with.
Well, responsibility will catch up with him soon enough, though.
There's more chance of me becoming a monk.
They've dissed monks 5 times in the last 40 minutes. Like, what do you got against monks, bro?
That's a view fit for a king.
Uh-oh.
Whew. You were right about our stench.
I was hoping this cutscene was not at the beginning of the game.
Enjoy shrinking.
I'm more worried about it being too deep.
Come on. Oh, that really shrivels the old ball.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. I'm trusting you, bro.
What's the matter? Females. Let's go to them. Sir Hans. Oh, shut up and let's go. But quietly. We don't want them to spot us. Hans.
Head down, Henry. We've got to sneak closer. Head down, Henry. We've got to sneak closer. Hear that singing? They must be close. Hear that? Do you think they might be bathing? Come on, let's get closer.
Washing clothing. Hello.
Holy Mother of God!
Yes, we're here.
Go even closer, but carefully.
All right, cue another long-ass cutscene.
Henry, I told you to... Oh, fucking God,
Oh, good. You took off your armor. Oh, these are the guys that let us pass earlier.
We've got to do something. Stay down, for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah, just abandon my comrades. Just let them die after you decide to go for a bath. Wait, are these the guys we were talking to earlier? Not actually.
Oh, fuck. A letter. Don't be a fool, Henry. We don't stand a chance. We'll wait till they're gone, and then head back to camp. Maybe some of our men got away.
over, you brute! What the hell's going on here? Let her go, you pigs! That bastard's with them!
Fucking hell! You couldn't just leave it be, could you? Come on! Run!
Catch them! Enough, I said! What the fuck? She's mine!
Holy shit.
What are you gaping at? Shoot! Well, don't just stand there, you idiots! After them! Along the bank!
Christ! When did you learn to swim? Just now.
Oh fuck, he just got shot.
Fucking armor! Come on! We'll cut them off on the other side!
Oh, these horses, quick!
Oh, Mott.
What the fuck was that, Henry? You rescuing a damsel in distress?
I'm done with running.
Oh, really? And what exactly do you call... Oh, shit. Oh, you've been hit.
What?
Shit, man.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Like it's literally
can't leave it like
it's
this.
hard.
No, wait!
Ah, fuck!
Oof. Block smoke.
We've got to flee. Can you walk?
Yeah,
They're my own dude. Attack.
I'd lead the way.
So glad we have no shoes.
You pull yourself together. We've got to vanish.
Oh wow.
We'll get out of the woods and find someone. Then we'll get that shoulder of yours fixed up. So, how far is it to Trusky?
All right. I have no savior snaps. Are you kidding me? Okay, it must have just saved. Okay. Well, good-ish so far. A lot of cutscenes, a lot of waiting. I'm interested. Anyway, I will be, and I will do a giveaway while you. It's gonna be. Giveaway time. I will announce the winner when I'm back. And playing another game. Get back. Come on, hopefully this works. And give me. Oh, perfect. Okay, here we go. Giveaway is starting. We're back. We will do the thing. Okay, that was a while, so I apologize, but I am back. Okay. And the winner is me. Congratulations. You did it. I don't know what your Discord is, but message me on it. There you go. W indeed. Me, what's your Discord, buddy? All right, I got a call. Sweet. Well, let's get back to gaming. What is your Discord, me? I need your Discord so I can give you the giveaway link, bro. Otherwise, you cannot redeem. Yeah, no, just DM me. That's fine. That's fine. Let's do. Me 7. Gotcha. Sure. The Fishman. Cool, bro. Congratulations. Big dub. Big dub for you. You're welcome. Oh. Oh. All right. Really was enjoying Battle for Middle. Oh. I don't know. Let's hop back into Elden. Just the safest bet right now. Sure, I'm not the only. It's fatigue picking games. you know. Yeah, I played it, Brian, and it like was not great. It's very slow. I don't really love its depiction of the medieval world so far, but there's some nice things about it for sure. Not not like it's bad or anything. I don't know. It's not really my type of game necessarily, but I'm gonna play it more. I'm gonna play it more for sure. And now I'm basically now I'm basically clickbaiting everybody because I'm not playing the game the title says, but I did play it earlier, so it is, dude. Like that's the thing, man. It really is. Like it's not great. Yeah, man. It's not great. It's basically pretty mid. I don't know. It might just not be my type of game. More power to all the people. I'm gonna give it more of a time. It's like so story focused that the story would need to be actually kind of good. Need to enjoy it. But again, I'm kind of writing it off, and I only play. It is, dude. I mean, Lionheart's combat is which is why I designed it that way, bro. Like, what do you want? Like people to just I guess it's more realistic, the pacing, but like you're never supposed to choose realism over fun. Like you're just never ever supposed to. And like again, I get it. I get it. Like it's like some people like slow burns, and I'm sure like when the first 10 hours of Elden Ring were super painful. I'm sure if I put 10 hours into it, I would start to like it. Yeah, this is the DLC. So I am playing it, but I haven't gotten to the DLC portions yet because I only have like a few hours on this account, so I'm just getting into this area. I'm kind of trying to speed run through it a little bit because I've already beat it before, and I'm really just kind of excited for the DLC content. But, you know, my relationship with Elden Ring is also very tumultuous because it's a love-hate relationship. It's either very fun and awesome and engaging or, like, soul-draining. And there's not much in between. But you know what's funny is, like, the combat in Elden Ring is basically just identical to the combat in Dark Souls, the game that came out way before it. It's not like it's super revolutionary or anything, but it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So for Reforged, it's like we're definitely going for the same combat base as Lionheart's. Nice. The same base combat because I just think it's really fast-paced and fun. And I don't know how that's going to play on on Steam. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep that pacing. It might have to be slowed down a little bit. But, again, like, you're talking 5-10% maybe. But again, like, if I have a sword, I'm not going, oh! Like, I'm not doing that. I'm, like, it's definitely faster than that. So it's like it's also just not clear what the directional system is. I've done the tutorial for the first game and this one, and it's still not super obvious like what the directions actually do, which is, you know, not great. I agree. I think those are both really fair critiques that I totally agree with. That Elden Ring little lighter atmosphere and more character relationships, you should not play Dark Souls. Yeah, do not play Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. It was fucking like really, really fun. Had a great time playing that game. Darker atmosphere, less character interactions. So they actually took your feedback and applied it, and it's still not good enough. That's kind of funny. I don't know, man. It's a mood. It's not like, I don't know. Like, I definitely prefer the atmosphere of Zelda is definitely... Oh, fuck. There go my runes. The atmosphere of Zelda is definitely way better. Way, way, way better. Like, as far as just being less dark. I do find there is some joy in the darkness. I do find that there's something about the atmosphere of Elden Ring that be rather hopeful. But, like, again, if you're not in the mood for it, it's like, dude, forget about it. Like, it just is what it is, and it matches the gameplay. Like, it's a super hardcore game. The lore, it's like, you know, it matches all that stuff. Something I'm kind of excited about with Lionheart's Reforged is I actually don't plan on making it a super dark medieval world. It's actually going to be pretty light, which is not really the norm in medieval. So it's funny, man. Like, sometimes you're having a lot of fun playing these bosses, and it's super rewarding and engaging, and then other times it's just like it feels like you're beating your head against a wall. The game designer Miyazaki is an interesting guy. He's definitely a visionary and a brilliant man. He has a very specific aesthetic and style he's looking for. And, you know, it's just not for him. It's a fun game to stream because when you die, it's entertaining. I totally agree. Yeah. And I feel the same way about, like, a new game. If I'm playing a new game, I just have no processing power. Like, I need to be in a very specific mood to have the patience for a new game. And I'm sure I've missed out on many masterpieces because I'm just so impatient. For example, like Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm sure I would love that game if I put more time into it, but I could not get past the intro, like the beginning. Like, I did actually put some hours into it, but I could not get past it. Just did not click for whatever reason. Something about Zelda, I don't know if it's the childhood nostalgia or just the pacing is a little better. It's definitely better in like Breath of the Wild. Like, you just get so much freedom and so much like, comparing that with Kingdom Come Deliverance is incredible. It's crazy. Like, the first 45 minutes of that game were just me literally just wading through dialogue with... It was 90% dialogue and cutscene, 10% gameplay. And the dialogue was not interesting. It's like, so, like, that doesn't compute. Like, that's not... And then the gameplay wasn't fun enough to make up for the dialogue being uninteresting. Yeah. It's great, though, because, like, it's in the similar genre or, you know, setting as Lionheart's Reforged is. And so it's definitely something to learn from and give, like... Sometimes it's good to see stuff you don't want, because it gives you an idea of what you do want when you're making something. Like, oh, no, yeah, we don't want this. This is... Some parts of this are good, but... Like, they had a great opening sequence where you're defending this castle with a crossbow, and like, oh, great. And then And then what? You like 6 weeks earlier, and you're on a horse, like just riding through the countryside with no control. At least, you know, Ghost of Tsushima, they do those dialogue sequences, but you could control the horse, and you could skip through the dialogue, and it feels, yeah, exactly. You have to be super into them. That's another thing about Elden Ring is like, it really does not put you on rails, which is kind of nice. One of my critiques about Elden Ring actually is just like, in Souls games, especially Souls games, is there's like nothing to do except fight bosses. And it's a game about fighting bosses, so that's the gameplay loop and it works. But sometimes I wish that I could go, like you can craft stuff, but it's all back towards combat. Like something I like about Breath of the Wild and the new one is like, oh, I can just go like make a house and do other things. But from a game design standpoint, I can see why they didn't do that. But it's definitely frustrating because I, like, in moments where the, you know, parts of me don't just want to beat my head against a wall and fight bosses, I'm like, man, I this is not great. At other times, like, you feel like a god because you're dodging well and, like, you just got a new weapon. And the best part about this game by far is actually grinding. It's funny because, like, but my favorite part is by far grinding. Also, like, just moments like this are just, this is actually awesome. Like, you hear this music and you find out it's like a bat with a woman's head singing. Like, that's insane. I love the world building. Like, it's actually awesome. George R. R. Martin. Like, one of the things missing that is in, like, the Zelda games is, like, there's actually, like, a village in Zelda that's not just full of things that want to kill you. Like, the world building isn't just darkness and despair. But I kind of understand why they did it that way. Like, I get it. Like, it's just the round table hold. That's the only save space. And there is just so many holy shit moments in this game that just make you, oh my god. Like when you see some of the dungeons and stuff that are like how big the underground world is, it's impressive. And it's funny because, like, I don't even know if I'm the typical type of player that would like this game, but I think just I'm so impressed as a developer how they did it and how creative it was that I just, you know, I put up with some of the other elements that aren't my favorite. It's weird, too, because, like, I will play Zelda games, the same Zelda games every year just for the dungeons. And I do enjoy the story. It's not like the Zelda story is super complicated, either. It's like, the Twilight Princess Zelda story is great. And the mechanics are fun, and it's, you know, Twilight Princess is pretty dark, but, like, I love Wind Waker. Like, it's like a, definitely, it hits home for sure. You know, No Man's Sky is interesting, and we talk about it a lot at the studio because essentially No Man's Sky was a flop on release, and people were really upset. And what the developers did is they just kept working on it for years until they got it right. And that's, like, kind of a rare story because games that flop off the bat, usually the developers don't... Like, first it has to be live service or else you can't do that, but it's just kind of a cool story that they were actually able to recover from an initial failure and then make all the changes that people requested. Kind of reminds me of Lionhearts 2. Like, didn't go like the exact way we wanted it, but just keep adding stuff to it, keep improving it, and eventually get it right. Iterative, but it's not ideal because it's really hard to recover from a bad launch. But they did, and they somehow got it back, which is really cool. God, I'm so far away from where I died. Holy cow. I actually don't know much about the mechanics in that game outside of that. I mean, the sci-fi... I honestly think there's more in common with some of these sci-fi games that are coming out and Lionheart's Reforged than there is with a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Stuff like EVE Online, we've always had big inspiration from. I don't know. There's not really always easy comparisons. It's a completely unique game. It's not like a single experience you can compare it to. Although Dark Souls, because of Dark Souls, there's a whole new genre that's been created called Souls-like games, which have the same basic mechanics. You know, I'm still going through Tears of the Kingdom at my own pace. So I didn't give up on it. I got really frustrated in the underworld. I just didn't feel like the underworld was that well done. Just like dark and doesn't seem to be like the level design's not great, but I was enjoying it. It did feel like just a Breath of the Wild DLC. And some of the mechanics I don't love compared to Breath of the Wild, but I just played it the other day, actually. I do intend to finish it. I do intend to play more of it. Just not... I don't know, man. I don't know. It, like, both that and Breath of the Wild just did not feel like Zelda games to me. They kind of pulled an Assassin's Creed, which I'm talking about in my video tomorrow, actually, that I'm releasing. They pulled, like, an Assassin's Creed, where they're like, oh, here's this great title, this franchise, Assassin's Creed, that has a ton of followers and fans. Let's turn it into something totally different that has nothing to do with the original gameplay loop. And in Assassin's Creed, they even changed, like, the lore. It's like, okay, you're in ancient Egypt, and you're called the Hidden Ones, and, like, it's barely ever about the Assassin's Creed lore. Where in Zelda, they kept the lore, but the mechanics are so fundamentally different. They did kind of bring back dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom, but I haven't gotten far enough through one to really appreciate it. The lack of dungeons in Breath of the Wild and the music are probably my two biggest gripes. Like the Tears of the Twilight Princess dungeons are so amazing. Same with Ocarina of Time. Like, they're just incredible. They're a lot of fun. I mean, this area of the map isn't too dark. I feel like the intro area and this area are okay as far as, like, not being too overbearingly gloomy. I do like the capital as well. Like, that's a fun area. Oof. Just get my rooms here. Like, I actually think clearing camps like this can be a lot more fun than the bosses. Although some bosses I enjoy fighting, not usually the... Okay. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I enjoyed that. We're going to be streaming every Thursday and Sunday. So Sunday's going to be a little earlier in the day. And Thursdays are going to be about the same time that this one was. So stay tuned for those. I might stream again spontaneously before then. And join the Discord server if you haven't. Been enjoying the discussions in there. And yeah, it's been pretty funny.